I have a content warning for this video. I am going to be discussing this topic. I will not be describing that type of situation, but I will be talking about it. And from here on out, I will refer to this as SA. When I tell people that I'm stepping back from working in the emergency department, they immediately ask, well, what are you going to do instead? First and foremost, I think it sucks that we live in a capitalistic hellscape where once you quit one job, people need to know what you're going to do next to survive. But I actually already know what I'm going to do to make money and survive. For the last 3 years, I have been an SA nurse examiner. And for the last year and a half, I've been the coordinator of the program at my hospital. Usually when I tell people that I'm an SA nurse examiner or a SANE, they just go, oh, okay. And I know for a fact that people don't really understand what that job entails. So I wanted to come on here and educate you. The biggest thing I do as a SANE is give patients their bodily autonomy back. My favorite word in my job is consent, and I tell every patient I take care of after SA happens that I need their enthusiastic consent to do anything to them. This includes minors as well. Even if parent says, yeah, you can do this, I'm giving you my consent, I still need the minor to tell me it's okay to touch their body. So a SANE typically is somebody who is trained in being a SANE and doing FREs, which is this. Now, those exams are very, very comprehensive, very detailed, and they take a very long time to complete. And explaining what's all involved in a FRE is part of my job. I also get to explain reporting options to patients, whether they want to speak to law enforcement or not. Fun fact, every state has anonymous reporting options, so there is ways to collect evidence without having to make a report right away or speak to police. I know a lot of times the fear of speaking to law enforcement or police can be a barrier to people seeking medical attention after SA happens. Please don't let that be the barrier, because I tell you what, I fight law enforcement off all the time. Heck, 9 times out of 10, I don't even call them until my patient is long gone. And like I said, part of my job is collecting evidence via cotton swabs, evidence swabs on patients, or collecting clothing if they are willing to part with it. I also do a lot of education about prophylaxis for STIs and HIV, and also contraception like Plan B, or we use Ella at my hospital. Also, as a SANE, I work very, very closely with our advocacy center. Our advocacy center is wonderful. They provide free trauma counseling following an SA event. They help patients navigate the legal system and fill out forms for compensation. My advocacy center even goes with patients for their forensic interviews by law enforcement and will accompany them to court as well. My job as a SANE is simultaneously the best and worst job in the world, because I meet people after the worst possible thing could happen. But I get to give them their power back and give them their voice back. This is a job that was offered to me when I started at my new hospital. I went, I don't know, I guess that sounds cool. And I have completely fallen in love with it. So my plan now is to lead my program more, to be a more present resource for those SANEs who work under me. I plan to really take time to make sure they feel supported, and then that they have a safe space to debrief following a case that they have to do, especially if there's any hiccups or difficulties or snafus, because there always is. Because when it comes to this kind of thing, it's never straightforward. It's never simple. It's never in and out. It's always long, and it's always complicated, and there's always 9 million extra factors that you can't prepare somebody for. And my goal is to also educate more that these services are available, and heaven forbid SA ever happens to you, to know that there are people out there who care and care so much that they go through extra training to make sure they can give you the care that you deserve in the best possible way. This kind of work has my whole heart, and I think it's going to be a good change for me.